A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away. Pokemon! Wait, that one's wrong. Alright, so you're probably wondering what's going on. You saw a thumbnail or title and we're like, whoa! Pokemon, Star Wars, heck yeah! So, first things first, let me explain what's going on and let me explain this challenge to you. This challenge would be if there was X Star Wars character in Pokemon, who would be their team of Pokemon, and would they be able to beat the game? I asked my Twitter, who's your favorite Force user? The highest liked tweet was Dark Revan. Thank you only for that. I then had to take the time and decide who 6 Mons would be for Revan. And then how could I encompass everything that he is in Pokemon Sword and Shield? So I took some time and I started jotting down some notes, and after some deliberation, I picked these 6 Pokemon. The starter would evolve up into Inteleon, who would have Corviknight, Sirfetch'd, Dracozolt, Mimikyu, and Morpeko. Some of those might change, but it's okay if it follows a plot purpose, right? Totally is. The Force giveth and the Force taketh away. So I start by going and mashing A as quick as possible to get a Pokemon. After my annoying neighbor Hop finally gets done with everything his brother, who's the undefeated Pokemon champion, which can we just say that's a terrible shadow to live under. Well, after they get done with what they're doing, we finally get our first Pokemon. I get a Sobble, I nicknamed Valkyrian, and we start reaping destruction. I then get some Pokeballs, and before I was supposed to, of course, and caught myself a Rookidee. I nicknamed Nevermore because chat chose that. By the way, sometimes I do stream parts of these challenges live on YouTube, so if you would like to nickname a Pokemon, consider subscribing so you can be there, or put a comment down below of a nickname that you'd like to see, and I'd be more than happy to do that. Heck, while you're at it, if you want, go and lick the like button. It's pretty tasty and it's free, and it really does help out a lot. So, after some more boring exposition, we head towards our first real challenge, the Wild Area. We don't really spend any time here. I will have a couple of moments in the run where we come back and we do some grinding here, but we'll handle that when it arrives. Soon, we get to Monostoke, where the gym challenge starts. But before the reception, I gotta look fresh for all the peeps. Get changed up and looking good. So after a long and boring reception, we get on our way. As we're about to leave the area, Hop gets in my way. I'm gonna be very honest, I'm not going to waste my time with a lot of the in-between fights with Hop. I'm not going to do it for a lot of any of the rivals. This generation's full of rival fights, and I want you guys to enjoy the video, not wonder why there's a 7-hour exposition on fighting Hop. Anyway, to make short work of Hop, we head to the Galar Mine, where something interesting happens. Bede decides he wants to fight me, or Beatty, or Bede. I don't know. You pick how you want to say it. I don't know him, nor have any issues, but if wishing stars are like Kyber, he can't have mine. He starts out with Solosis, which Valkyrian makes quick work of with a Water Pulse and a Water Gun. Next he sends out Gothita, which is fine. I switch over to Nevermore. I try to set up a Hone Claws, but then I get tickled. So I just decide, you know what, I'll just spam Power Trip, and I knock out Gothita. I then switch back to Valkyrian to go up against his Hatenna, whatever. It's a Pokemon, you know. I heal up, but the Force doesn't want me to win so easily. I get confused and hit with a critical, so I heal up again. Critical hit again. Valkyrian gets a chance to fight finally, and I throw out a Water Pulse. I heal up because at the time I was trying to avoid death and make it more like a Nuzlocke, and it gets another critical hit. Then after all the spam back and forth, I finally get the win and move forward to Turffield. Right before we get through, Nevermore evolves into Corvisquire. Now, Turffield is the home to some statues, a weird hill with rocks, and more importantly, the gym leader Milo. Milo's a grass-type gym leader, and in all honesty, our newly evolved Nevermore makes pretty short work of the entire situation. We enter the gym, where we meet our best friend, Ball Guy, who I won't waste time right now, but we did visit him in every single gym, and even when we didn't need Pokeballs anymore. I just appreciate him and what he does. So after a little bit of hurting, who knows, I was going to get some practical applications to this. I run out onto the pitch to face Milo. Just as expected, Nevermore makes quick work of this gym. Heck, she even Dynamaxes for some flair. After a couple of well-landed hits, we move on. I love you, Milo, but man, you feel like a pushover. I wish we got to fight you during the final tournament. Anywho, after we move on to Route 5, we get our next and probably most valuable member, Farfetch'd. Big thing is, we need Farfetch'd to have a special item, the Leak. The Leak is super critical because it raises the chances of critical hits specifically by 2 stages. This is super helpful for us because we need it to evolve into Surfetch'd. And to evolve into Surfetch'd, Farfetch'd has to have 3 critical hits in 1 battle. After a long fight, I thought multiple times I was going to lose and miss out on this Farfetch'd. Luckily, we got him, and we also got the Leak. So, big moves. This Farfetch'd is going to go places. We nickname him Galen, and we move forward. Funny enough, our next fight, Farfetch'd gets 3 critical hits, and now we have a Surfetch'd. We also ran across the bridge and beat up Hop. Awesome. So, then we're in Hulberry, where we'll skip the story and head on to the next gym to face Nessa, the water-type gym leader. We walk up to the gym, but are told that Nessa isn't there. Well, time to go look for someone that looks like a main character. Well, it actually wasn't that hard. She was right next to the lighthouse. After setting her straight, she goes back to do her job, which, can I just say, this gym challenge was annoying. I hate shifting maze puzzles, and when I was trying to vibe, they really throw off my groove. It isn't too bad anyway. The only issue was I forgot to get some potions before we headed on, so I couldn't heal much between fights, which did make things a little risky. After we open the way, we head on to the pitch to go beat up Nessa. We start the fight with Galen, and I said it before, but he's the MVP of this run. He handles both Nessa's Goldeen and Arrokuda with a couple of attacks each. The real fight happens when she Dynamaxes her Dreadnought. I Dynamax Galen, and then they start swinging. It does outspeed me, and it puts me in the red, but then I have Galen use Max Guard to help stall out the Dynamax. We risk a second Max Guard knowing that we're probably going to faint, but that the Dreadnaught's Dynamax would also end. It leaves us with a better opportunity for a victory. I then send out Nevermore, who goes down to the rain when I was trying to set up. We did get a revive off and sent Galen back out, and then with a tiny bit of stalling, Galen goes down. Valkyrian now comes out, and we outspeed, and we're doing a lot of solid damage. Since we outspeed, we can get off one more risky water pulse and finish off Nessa. This is the first tough fight for us, and a lot of it would have been avoided if I had switched earlier to Valkyrian. Either way, we got the gym badge, and now we can head on to Monastoke. In the Galar Caves, Part 2 Electric Boogaloo, we fight Bede again, and it wasn't too hard of a fight. In all honesty, I probably won't talk much about him either, except for maybe his final fight. Literally, we just used pretty much Fury Cutter, and it was like a cheat code for him. It wasn't too hard at all. After that, we do a double battle with Hop, and we meet Kabu, the fire-type gym leader of Monastoke. After a few more trainers, we make our way into Monastoke, where we fight Marnie for the first time, which, just like the rest of the rivals, I'll probably talk about her mostly at the end during the tournament. I get into a slugfest with the Krogunk, I win, Scraggy gets smashed with some rocks and some plucks, because it took out Galen. More Pekko, her ace comes out, and I switch back to Galen, heal up, smash it with a rock, and then we win. Party down, and we can move on to the fire type. The gym challenge is unique. It focuses on catching Pokemon for points or knocking them out. I focus on doing both because it's really annoying. Eventually we do get it, and we end up winning and move on. Next, we run onto the pitch, and we take on Kabu. Kabu starts off with a Ninetales, I start off with Galen. I get burned, which sucks because burn lowers your physical attack. Then I get set up in a fire spin. This is a very lost cost. I then switch to Valkyrian. Ninetales starts off with a burn, and I go for Water Pulse. Next out is our Canine. It 2 outspeeds Valkyrian, but that's fine. We eat up a bite and chuck a Water Pulse out. We then go heal up. And when we get hit with another bite, we get hit with another Will-O-Wisp, but that gives us a chance to finish off our Canine with a Water Pulse. We then switch out to Nevermore, who's perfect to go against Centiskorch. You might be wondering why. Well, Centiskorch is a bug fire type, and with Nevermore being just flying and lacking the steel type, we actually have an advantage here. We both Dynamax, and then the Slugfest begins. After 2 max Airstreams, we win the fight, and the fire badge is ours. Sweet! First 3 badges are in the bag, and now we have a chance to go to the wild area where we can get what we need for our next Pokemon, Dracozolt. We need to get fossils from the Digging Brothers, but we don't have a lot of Watts, which is what you get from Dens if you haven't played Sword and Shield. So we head to the Isle of Armor. There we do some max raids to get Armorite ore. This is super useful because you can take it to the Digging Paw, who's the father of the Digging Duo. He digs for Watts and you get a lot of them. So after getting 7 Armorite, I get him to dig for Watts. He gives us the first one, and then we do it a second time, which gives us more Watts than we would need if it was a material for the Death Star. Okay, not really. They destroyed multiple planets and systems for that, but you guys get the point. We then get back to the Digging Duo, and we have them dig until we get both a Drake and a Bird fossil. Those will be important when we get to Route 6. It's also about this time we gave up on Mimikyu. Sadly, they patched out where you could change the date and get different weather, which I was relying on for Mimikyu because it only shows up on foggy days in 2 locations at 5%, or I can get it in a max raid. So I then went to Twitter and said, hey, this is crap and we're going to try something else. I gave the option of Colossal or Golurk, and Colossal was chosen. So with that, they chose, since they chose Colossal, we head over to the Galar Mine and we grab one. Well, we grab a cute little roly-coly, we nickname her Asajj, and we go back and finish our grinding in the wild area to get the fossils for Dracozolt. We use some of the candies to get our Mons on the same level, so that way we have an equal playing field for all of our Pokemon. We then arrive in Hammerlock, and we meet with Chairman Rose. We also see Bede, and I decide to not punch him in the face. We see then that Leon's worried about Hop. I mean, who isn't? He's not doing well in this challenge. Ryan stops me before I can leave the city. For some reason, he thinks it's interesting that Leon endorsed me. He lets me go check out the vault where Sonya's there studying, and after some more lore, I head on my way to Stow-on-Side, giving Hop a good game on the way, because at least he tried. Taking Route 6, we make a pit stop right before getting to the town. There's a scientist that can revive the dead. She must be the mighty Sith Lord of legend. With her blessing, we get our Dracozolt, and we name it Palpazolt, because chat had great ideas. After getting our new friend, we get to Stow-on-Side. We decide to ransack the entire town, taking all their loose items. Hop sees us and tells us we did good, and then we can head on to the gym. Bay, or B, however you really want to say it, the leader of the Stow-on-Side gym, is a fighting type gym leader. Her gym challenge was to play Super Monkey Ball on easy mode. After you beat the 3 little mazes, it's time to run onto the pitch to fight B. Honestly, Nevermore takes a lot of the headliner space for this fight. Nevermore takes out B's Hitmontop. I switched to Galen because of health. B sends out Pangoro, a couple of rock smashes in, and Pangoro uses a circle throw, pulling Valkorion out. Water Pulse finishes off Pangoro, and then comes out B's Surfetched. I switch to Palpazolt. couple of aerial aces, and then good old Palps gets revenged and swung brutally. And out of Saj to give some time to heal up, and a quick Incinerate takes out the Surfetched. Last is B's Machamp. I switch to Palpazol with both Dynamax. I luckily outspeed and went for a max Airstream. Looks like it'll take 3 to finish the battle. Machamp's G-Max G-Strike isn't enough to kill me in 2 moves, which will give me the win. Machamp switches to Max Darkness and lives on, barely. And I am forced to switch to another Pokemon to finish the fight. I switch to Nevermore, I outspeed, and take the badge from me. Man, that was getting close to dicey. Luckily, we got through it without too much trouble. Once we come out of the gym, we hear a ruckus up at the monument in the town. We find out that Bede is also a Vandalizer in addition to everything else annoying. Luckily, it helps Sonia's research, otherwise I'd be pretty frustrated. Our fight does bring forth Colossal, which is wonderful because our Saj evolved. However, the chairman isn't happy and he kicks Bede out of the competition. Thanks us for our help, and we start to head on to probably one of the scariest challenges. As we're heading through a creepy forest, Valkyrian evolves into Inteleon. Eventually we get to Balloonly. This is the home of Opal, the youngest of the gym leaders, and the fairy type gym leader at that. She's so young that she's retiring and looking for a person to take over as a gym leader. So in addition to fighting 3 trainers back to back, we also have to answer a bunch of questions, which we skate through with not too much trouble, and we take on Opal. We head on to the pitch to start the fight, and decide that since Nevermore has Steel Wing, we gave Poison Jab to Galen. This shouldn't be too tough. The thing that makes this fight unique, though, is that she asks you questions that will either add or take away stats. I didn't know the right answer to some of them, and we still fought through it. Opal starts with Wheezing. I start with Nevermore. I start with a Drill Peck, and that does about a third of Wheezing's health. I get Sludge, questioned, I failed the question, and then I get Sludged again. Forced to heal up, and Sludge and Poison then do over half of my health. This leaves me in a very precarious situation. I decide to let Nevermore faint for a clean switch. Somehow though, Wheezing doesn't finish me off, and Nevermore takes the first blood. Nevermore does faint to Poison though, and it forces me to bring out a Saj. Mawile comes out, and since there's the Steel typing, it should be pretty easy for a Saj to finish up. We get questioned, I fail again. Not that it mattered, 1 Incinerate, and Mawile bites the dust. Insert some type of Queen joke here, I'm sure it would be funny. Mama! Now, with Togekiss coming out, I switch to Galen. Hopefully Poison Jab can make super quick work of this. Well, I'm outsped, and an Air Slash takes me down to 6 HP, which I do get off 1 Poison Jab for half of its HP. I let Galen go down for a clean switch to a Saj. We get questioned again, and I finally get a correct answer as we set up a Tar Shot, and as it hits us with Ancient Power. We take a second one and respond with Incinerate. The Saj finishes off the Togekiss, and we move on to Opal's ace, Alcremie. We switch to Valkyrian, and both Opal and I Dynamax our mons. I outspeed and hit with a Max Geyser, which looks like it's going to take about 3 hits to finish up this battle. A G-Max Finale does less than half our HP, putting us in a position where we should be able to win. With the rain set up, and even against the cheating of the Alcremie, we push through, and we finish up the battle getting the 5th gym badge from Opal. After the fight, we head to Hammerlock with Opal. It was a nice ride filled with candies and interesting conversations. Once we arrived in Hammerlock though, we moved to the center area where Bede is brooding over the fact that he sucks, and he gets abducted by Opal, and we stopped caring. After that, we head to get our last Pokemon, Morpeko. But first, we have to figure out why the world went boom. Well, the adults said they could actually handle it, and that'll save me time both in the script and in gameplay. So on to Route 7. On our way, after a hop kerfuffle, Nevermore evolves into Corviknight, which I think is our last evolution of the run, which means that after wasting about 20 minutes of being chased by Lipards and other Pokemon, we finally get our last member, Morpeko, that we nicknamed Pikachu. Again, please come to stream, or just give me better nicknames in the comments. These ones are rough. After Pikachu was caught, we head up to Chichester. We head up to Chichester to fight Gordy. We also get a costume change real quick. Gordy's a rock-type gym leader, and his gym challenge is weird. I have to use a dowsing machine to look for holes, and after a little hit and miss, it isn't too much of an issue. We then head out onto the pitch to take on Gordy. He starts with a Barbicle, and I start with Galen. A couple of brick breaks, and a slight scare, and it's done no problem. Gordy then throws out Stonejourner. I keep Galen out and go for Brick Break. It almost takes Stonejourner out, and he responds with a Rock Tomb, which takes Galen out. I switch to Valkyrian for a quick snipe shot, which ends Stonejourner. Gordy then decides to switch to Shuckle. I decide to Dynamax and send off a Max Geyser. This one-shot Shuckle, and it also sets up the rain for Gordy's ace, Colossal. I feel bad for this thing. It's 4 times weak to water, and it's in the rain. One more Max Geyser. That's the end of Gordy and his Colossal. We've gotten our 6th badge. We get to move on through some story, get a better bike, we sneak into a town after fighting some people. Wow, nice and quick way to get to Spikemouth. Spikemouth, it is pretty easy for a gym challenge. You fight Team Yell and you win. Pretty boring and short work. This does, however, bring us to Piers, the Dark-type gym leader. Now, starting the fight, I go with Galen and he throws out Scrafty. Scrafty has Intimidate and used Fake Out to get some chip damage. We set up a sword dance. Okay, well, we set up 2 swords dances, and this should be pretty easy for us to sweep with Brick Break. Scrafty goes down. Malamar goes down. Obstagoon delays and then goes down. And last, Skuntank also tries its best, but it goes down. Piers is down and was probably the easiest gym leader yet. Again, with Galen being an MVP and being as good as he was for our run, this was very easy. After that, we've got 7 gym badges, and probably one of the worst matchups for us next, Raihan. Raihan's gym sucks. It's all double battles. We make it through the gym challenge by the skin of our teeth, and it's time for Raihan himself. Raihan starts with Gigalith and Flygon. I start with Galen and Valkyrian, and luckily I got Icicle Spear back in Gordy's town, and I taught it to Valkyrian for this. It's going to be super helpful for this fight. Galen uses Brick Break on Gigalith, and Valkyrian Dynamaxed and used Max Hailstorm on Flygon. Flygon's gone. Gigalith goes down about half and sets up a Stealth Rocks. Then Sandaconda comes out. Valkyrian uses a Max Geyser on Sandaconda, and Galen uses another Brick Break. Sandaconda and Gigalith both go down. This means that all we're left with is Raihan's ace, Duraludon. Knowing that Raihan's going to Dynamax his Skyscraper, I have Valkyrian go for a Max Hailstorm and Galen go for a Brick Break. Duraludon is left with a little HP left, and after that a quick Icicle Spear from Valkyrian finishes up, and we get the 8th gym badge. Not as bad as I thought it was going to be, but still pretty tough. Then I have to ride a train with Hop. It wasn't too bad, he did pretty good. I walk up a hill and bam, we're at the Elite Four for this generation, which is just a massive tournament. They're not super exciting fights. I know I said I was probably going to talk about these. I'm going to have them up on the screen right now so you guys can see it. Nothing really noteworthy happened. Marnie and Hop are both interesting, but they weren't tough fights, and I don't want to waste the time on talking about them both when I could save you guys the time and make the video a little bit shorter. Shortly after these fights, though, Leon goes missing, which isn't good. Lena knows where he is. Well, it seems that she's going a little bonkers. And, well, let's just battle her. She'll probably be fine after that. She wasn't a tough fight. I did some pretty dumb stuff. And in the end, we beat her, and we went to go talk to Leon. Well, he's busy with the chairman, which, what a nice guy. The chairman's been doing nothing ominous at all, has no ominous lines. Nothing strange. He's a nice guy. I like him. So, after that, we go to bed. Next day, we have 3 more fights. Again, none of them were too difficult. I hope you guys understand why I'm rushing through this. We're getting towards the end, and it's a lot going on. And it saves us some time. The fights will be on screen, and I'll take time to talk about the series some more. If y'all are interested in it, and you guys like watching it, please like and comment. Whether it's something I missed, or something that if you have a different Star Wars character to suggest, or you guys had a different team that you would have suggested for Revan, let me know. Maybe I'll try it out, and maybe I'll pick your guys' character for the next video, or in a couple videos. Thank you guys so much for getting this far into the video. I really do appreciate it. So, after all this crazy stuff is going on, Leon and I need to delay our match. Hop and I had to go get some rusty equipment that should hopefully be helpful for us. We then head back to Hammerlock to check on the energy building, which is in the gym. We find out that Chairman Rose is a bad guy. That was such a shock for me. I wasn't really ready for that. Which, I mean, he seemed like such a nice guy. Well, anyway, he awakened Eternatus, and though it was a tough fight, we end up working through it all, and we catch Eternatus. I name it Starforge, just in case we needed some type of last resort. This brings us to the championship fight, and we are massively outmatched. I'll show it fast on screen right now, but we got demolished here. Leon outclassed us, and it was because of the level difference. If we took time to train beforehand, we would have been fine. And I do make a party switch right here. I decide to do a little bit of training, and I also take Pikachu out, which is our Morpeko, who is our least useful Pokemon on the entire team, and I put in Starforge. Why? Because in all honesty, I'm playing like Revan, and I'll deal with the enemy in any way I see fit. That being said, it does take us to our second attempt with Leon. This is our final fight. He starts with Aegislash, and I start with Asajj. I set up a Stealth Rock trying to predict King's Shield, which I did. I then go for a Heat Crash. Aegislash outspeeds Asajj and uses a Flash Cannon. Heat Crash then hits and finishes Aegislash. Leon then switches to Haxorus. I decide to switch to Starforge. Starforge goes for a Dynamax Cannon, one-shots Haxorus, and Leon's forced into switching to Rhyperior. At that point, I go, let's pull out Valkorion. Valkorion comes out, uses a Snipe Shot, boom, Rhyperior, down, one hit. This fight seems to be going really well. Leon then switches to Dragapult. I switch back to Starforge. Starforge goes for a Dynamax Cannon, but Dragapult outspeeds and hits with a Dragon Breath. No matter what though, Dynamax Cannon one-shot Dragapult. This is leaving Leon with only two Pokemon left, Rillaboom and Charizard. So Rillaboom comes out, I pull out Nevermore. Nevermore goes for Brave Bird, and Rillaboom outspeeds us, and it knocks off my sharp beak. That means that Brave Bird won't finish off Rillaboom, but it does force Leon to use his full restore. I then get to use another Drill Peck, and after dodging an Endeavor, which I have, Nevermore hit with a second Drill Peck, and it finishes off Rillaboom. Now it's time for Charizard. Now Charizard comes out, and the cheeky Stealth Rocks I set up takes Charizard down to about half HP. Then we both Dynamax, I outspeed and go for a Max Geyser. Bam! Just like that, I become the champion. Leon's defeated, and is no more. So, I want to say this video was a lot of fun, and the challenge itself was a lot of fun. And it was a different kind of style and led me to using some Pokemon I wouldn't normally use. It's given me a lot of respect for challenge runs that people do too, like J Rose and Scott's Thoughts, because there's so much going on, writing a script and keeping up with everything. It's a lot of fun. I want to thank everybody so far that's been out there helping me, from Panda Editing and sitting with me in Discord, to Rove, who made our thumbnail, to everybody in our community who's willing to just hang out during stream or in Discord and chill. Both the link for Discord will be down in the description, and if you guys want to see live streams, that's a great place to see them, or follow any of my other social medias. Now, guys, please do not forget to comment and subscribe. It only takes about 30 seconds to do so, and if you don't like the content, you can always unsubscribe. I'm looking forward to doing more of these runs, and so if you guys have a game or a Star Wars character that you guys would like, please comment it down below. Thank you all for your time. I hope you guys have an amazing day, and I'll see you guys in the next one.